Good day, students. Now we are going to see the grammar, simple, complex and compound. Let's recall gerunds, infinitives and participles, non-finite verbs. Phrase is a group of words which doesn't contain a finite verb. Class is a group of words which has a finite verb. Finite verbs indicate the tense and time of actions. Non-finite verbs don't indicate tense and time of actions. A simple sentence consists of only one finite verb. A complex sentence has one main class or more subordinate classes. A compound sentence has two main classes combined by a coordinating conjunction. Now, we are going to see the examples of a simple, complex and compound sentences. Before that, three sentences, simple, complex, compound, give the same meaning. But why do we learn or why do we use this? Because the British people, they always talk very formally. They don't talk very direct. They talk very formal. So they use simple, complex and compound sentences. If we see the example, we can easily understand. Ramu is too poor to buy a bicycle. Raghu is too poor to buy a bicycle. Ravi is too poor to buy a bicycle. In complex sentence, Ramu is so poor that he cannot buy a bicycle. Raghu is so poor that he cannot buy a bicycle. Ravi is so poor that he cannot buy a bicycle. Same sentence in compound. Ravi is very poor and he cannot buy bicycle. Raghu is very poor and he cannot buy bicycle. Second example, in simple. Despite his old age, Raghav walks fast. Despite his old age, Ravi walked fast. Despite his old age, Raju walked fast. In complex, though Raghav was old, he walked fast. Though Ravi was old, he walked fast. Though Raju was old, he walked fast. In compound, Raghav was old, yet he walked fast. Ravi was old, yet he walked fast. Raju was old, yet he walked fast. Next sentence in simple. In the event of not consulting a doctor, you cannot recover. In the event of not consulting a doctor, he cannot recover. In the event of not consulting a doctor, Ram cannot recover. Complex. Unless you consult a doctor, you cannot recover. Unless he consult a doctor, he cannot recover. Unless Ram consult a doctor, Ram cannot recover. In compound, you consult a doctor, otherwise you cannot recover. He consult a doctor, otherwise he cannot recover. Ram consult a doctor, otherwise Ram cannot recover. Next, in simple, on seeing the teacher, the children stood up. On seeing the class teacher, the children stood up. On seeing the headmaster, children stood up. Same sentence in complex. As soon as the children saw the teacher, they stood up. As soon as the children saw the class teacher, they stood up. As soon as the children saw the headmaster, they stood up. In compound, the children saw the teacher and they stood up. The children saw the class teacher and they stood up. The children saw the headmaster and they stood up. Next sentence. Due to heavy downpour, the match was cancelled. Due to heavy downpour, the game was cancelled. Due to heavy downpour, the event was cancelled. Same in complex. As there was a heavy downpour, the match was cancelled. As there was a heavy downpour, the game was cancelled. As there was a heavy downpour, the event was cancelled. Compound. There are heavy downpour and the match was cancelled. There are heavy downpour and the game was cancelled. There are heavy downpour and the event was cancelled. We have seen the book examples and we created some more examples by translating some more new names so that we are able to listen or we are able to know how sentences can be transformed simple into complex, complex into compound. After that, now we are going to see book exercise. Transform the sentences as instructed. First, on seeing the teacher, the children stood up. First sentence. We create same sentence like this with small changes. On seeing the class teacher, the children stood up. Another sentence. On seeing the headmaster, the children stood up. The sentence will be changed into complex. As soon as the children saw the teacher, they stood up. As soon as the children saw the class teacher, they stood up. As soon as the children saw the headmaster, they stood up. As soon as the children saw the Tamil teacher, they stood up. As soon as the children saw the English teacher, they stood up. As soon as the children saw the maths teacher, they stood up. As soon as the children saw the science teacher, they stood up. As soon as the children saw the social science teacher, they stood up. As soon as the children saw the assistant headmaster, they stood up. As soon as the children saw the PT master, they stood up. As soon as the children saw the headmaster, they stood up. Second exercise. At the age of 6, Varsha started learning music. At the age of 6, I started learning music. At the age of 6, you started learning music. At the age of 6, we started learning music. At the age of 6, they started learning music. At the age of 6, boys started learning music. At the age of 6, girls started learning music. At the age of 6, he started learning music. At the age of 6, she started learning music. At the age of 6, Varsha started learning music. At the age of 6, Vanitha started learning music. At the age of 6, Vimal started learning music. So, into complex. When Varsha was 6, she started learning music. When I was 6, I started learning music. When you were 6, you started learning music. When we were 6, we started learning music. When they were 6, they started learning music. When boys were 6, boys started learning music. When girls were 6, they started learning music. When he was 6, he started learning music. When she was 6, she started learning music. When Varsha was 6, she started learning music. When Vanitha was 6, she started learning music. When Vimala was 6, she started learning music. 3. As Varun is a voracious reader, he buys a lot of books. As I am a voracious reader, I buy a lot of books. As you are a voracious reader, you buy a lot of books. As they are voracious reader, they buy a lot of books. As we are voracious reader, we buy a lot of books. As boys are voracious reader, boys buy a lot of books. As girls are voracious readers, they buy a lot of books. As he is a voracious reader, he buys a lot of books. As she is a voracious reader, she buys a lot of books. As Varun is a voracious reader, he buys a lot of books. As Vimal is a voracious reader, he buys a lot of books. As Viran is a voracious reader, he buys a lot of books. Same sentence, converted into simple. Being a voracious reader, Varun buys a lot of books. Being a voracious reader, I buy a lot of books. Being a voracious reader, you buy a lot of books. Being a voracious reader, we buy a lot of books. Being a voracious reader, they buy a lot of books. Being a voracious reader, boys buy a lot of books. Being a voracious reader, girls buy a lot of books. Being a voracious reader, Varun buys a lot of books. Being a voracious reader, Vimal buys a lot of books. Being a voracious reader, Viren buys a lot of books. 4. Walk carefully, lest you will fall down. Walk carefully, lest you will fall down. Walk carefully, lest they will fall down. Walk carefully, lest we will fall down. Walk carefully, lest boys will fall down. Walk carefully, lest girls will fall down. Walk carefully, lest he will fall down. Walk carefully, lest she will fall down. Same sentence converted into complex. If you don't walk carefully, you will fall down. If I don't walk carefully, I will fall down. If you don't walk carefully, you will fall down. If we don't walk carefully, we will fall down. If they don't walk carefully, they will fall down. If boys don't walk carefully, boys will fall down. If girls don't walk carefully, girls will fall down. If he doesn't walk carefully, he will fall down. If she doesn't walk carefully, she will fall down. If Raja doesn't walk carefully, Raja will fall down. If Rani doesn't walk carefully, Rani will fall down. Fifth one is, besides being a dancer, she is a singer. Besides being a dancer, I am a singer. Besides being a dancer, you are a singer. Besides being a dancer, he is a singer. Besides being a dancer, she is a singer. Besides being a dancer, Ravi is a singer. Besides being a dancer, Raju is a singer. Same sentence into compound. She is not only a dancer, but also a singer. He is not only a dancer, but also a singer. Ravi is not only a dancer, but also a singer. I am not only a dancer, but also a singer. Sixth one, he is sick, but he attends the rehearsal. I am sick, but I attend the rehearsal. You are sick, but you attend the rehearsal. We are sick, but we attend the rehearsal. They are sick, but they attend the rehearsal. Boys are sick, but boys attend the rehearsal. Girls are sick, but girls attend the rehearsal. Ravi is sick, but he attends the rehearsal. Rani is sick, but she attends the rehearsal. Sentence into simple. In spite of being sick, he attends the rehearsal. In spite of being sick, I attend the rehearsal. In spite of being sick, you attend the rehearsal. In spite of being sick, we attend the rehearsal. In spite of being sick, they attend the rehearsal. In spite of being sick, boys attend the rehearsal. In spite of being sick, girls attend the rehearsal. In spite of being sick, he attends the rehearsal. In spite of being sick, she attends the rehearsal. In spite of being sick, Ravi attends the rehearsal. In spite of being sick, Rani attends the rehearsal. Number 7, if Meena reads more, she will become proficient in the language. If Reena reads more, she will become proficient in the language. If Geeta reads more, she will become proficient in the language. If I read more, I will become proficient in the language. If you read more, you will become proficient in the language. If we read more, we will become proficient in the language. If they read more, they will become proficient in the language. If boys read more, boys will become proficient in the language. If girls read more, girls will become proficient in the language. If he reads more, he will become proficient in the language. If Ravi reads more, Ravi will become proficient in the language. If she reads more, she will become proficient in the language. Same sentence converted into compound. Meena should read more, or she will not become proficient in the language. Meena should read more, or she will not become proficient in the language. Reena should read more or she will not become proficient in the language. Geeta should read more or she will not become proficient in the language. I should read more or I will not become proficient in the language. You should read more or you will not become proficient in the language. They should read more or they will not become proficient in the language. Boys should read more or boys will not become proficient in the language. Girls should read more or girls will not become proficient in the language. He should read more or he will not become proficient in the language. She should read more or she will not become proficient in the language. Ravi should read more or Ravi will not become proficient in the language. Rani should read more or she will not become proficient in the language. Reena should read more or she will not become proficient in the language. Geeta should read more or she will not become proficient in the language. Number 8. He confessed that he was guilty. She confessed that he was guilty. She confessed that she was guilty. Ravi confessed that he was guilty. I confess that I was guilty. You confess that you were guilty. We confess that we were guilty. They confess that they were guilty. Boys confessed that they were guilty. Girls confessed that they were guilty. He confessed that he was guilty. She confessed that she was guilty. Ravi confessed that Ravi was guilty. Rani confessed that she was guilty. Same sentence into simple. He confessed his guilt. That's all. She confessed her guilt. Ravi confessed his guilt. I confessed my guilt. You confessed your guilt. We confessed our guilt. They confessed their guilt. Boys confessed their guilt. Girls confessed their guilt. He confessed his guilt. She confessed his guilt. Ravi confessed his guilt. Rani confessed her guilt. 9. The boy could not attend the special classes due to his mother's illness. The girl could not attend the special classes due to her mother's illness. The student could not attend the special classes due to his mother's illness. The student could not attend the special classes due to her mother's illness. I could not attend the special classes due to my mother's illness. You could not attend the special classes due to your mother's illness. Ravi could not attend the special classes due to his mother's illness. Rani could not attend the special classes due to her mother's illness. Same sentence into compound. The boy's mother was ill, and so he did not attend the special classes. The girl's mother was ill, and so she did not attend the special classes. The student's mother was ill, and so student did not attend the special classes. My mother was ill, and so I didn't attend the special classes. Your mother was ill, and so you didn't attend the special classes. Ravi's mother was ill, and so Ravi did not attend the special classes. Rani's mother was ill, and so Rani did not attend the special classes. Number 10. He followed my suggestion. He followed my suggestion. She followed my suggestion. Raja followed my suggestion. I followed your suggestion. You followed my suggestion. We followed their suggestion. They followed our suggestion. Boys followed my suggestion. Girls followed my suggestion. He followed my suggestion. She followed my suggestion. Raja followed my suggestion. Into complex, same sentence. He followed what I suggested. She followed what I suggested. Ravi followed what I suggested. I followed what you suggested. You followed what I suggested. Next, combine the pairs of sentences below into simple, complex and compound. First, we see the rules of simple, complex and compound. Then, with the book exercises, we created more examples. That's very interesting, so that we listen more sentences. When we listen more sentences, automatically you will be able to speak. We will be able to speak, there is no doubt. And after that, one exercise with also more examples. And finally, combine the pairs of sentences below into simple, complex and compound. Single sentence converted into simple, complex and compound. See that. First, Radha was ill, she was not hospitalized. This is sentence. First, simple. In spite of being ill, Radha was not hospitalized. In spite of being ill, I was not hospitalized. In spite of being ill, you were not hospitalized. In spite of being ill, we were not hospitalized. In spite of being ill, they were not hospitalized. In spite of being ill, boys were not hospitalized. In spite of being ill, girls were not hospitalized. In spite of being ill, he was not hospitalized. In spite of being ill, she was not hospitalized. In spite of being ill, Ravi was not hospitalized. In spite of being ill, Radha was not hospitalized. First sentence simple, then complex. Though Radha was ill, she was not hospitalized. Though I was ill, I was not hospitalized. Though you were ill, you weren't hospitalized. Though we were ill, we were not hospitalized. Though boys were ill, boys were not hospitalized. Though girls were ill, girls were not hospitalized. Though he was ill, he was not hospitalized. Though she was ill, she was not hospitalized. Though Raju was ill, Raju was not hospitalized. Though Radha was ill, she was not hospitalized. Radha was ill, but she was not hospitalized. I was ill, but I was not hospitalized. You were ill, but you weren't hospitalized. You were ill, but you were not hospitalized. We were ill, but we were not hospitalized. They were ill, but they were not hospitalized. Boys were ill, but boys were not hospitalized. Girls were ill, but girls were not hospitalized. He was ill, but he was not hospitalized. She was ill, but she was not hospitalized. Ravi was ill, but Ravi was not hospitalized. Radha was ill, but Radha was not hospitalized. Number 2, the students were intelligent. They could answer the questions correctly. Simple. Being intelligent, the students were able to answer the question correctly. Being intelligent, I was able to answer the question correctly. Being intelligent, you were able to answer the question correctly. Being intelligent, we were able to answer the questions correctly. Being intelligent, they were able to answer the question correctly. Being intelligent, boys were able to answer the question correctly. Being intelligent, he was able to answer the question correctly. Being intelligent, she was able to answer the question correctly. Being intelligent, Ravi was able to answer the question correctly. Being intelligent, you were able to answer the question correctly. Being intelligent, the 10th standard students were able to answer the question correctly. Being intelligent, the students were able to answer the question correctly. Same in complex. As the students were intelligent, they were able to answer the questions correctly. As you were intelligent, you were able to answer the question correctly. As we were intelligent, we were able to answer the question correctly. As boys were intelligent, boys were able to answer the questions correctly. As girls were intelligent, girls were able to answer the question correctly. As the 10th standard students were intelligent, they were able to answer the question correctly. Same in compound. The students were intelligent, and so they were able to answer the question correctly. The boys were intelligent, and so they were able to answer the question correctly. The girls were intelligent, and so they were able to answer the question correctly. The 10th standard students were intelligent, and so they were able to answer the question correctly. Number 3. I must get visa, I can travel abroad. Sentence in simple. I must get visa to travel abroad. You must get visa to travel abroad. We must get visa to travel abroad. They must get visa to travel abroad. Boys must get visa to travel abroad. Girls must get visa to travel abroad. He must get visa to travel abroad. She must get visa to travel abroad. Ravi must get visa to travel abroad. Rani must get visa to travel abroad. Complex. If I don't get visa, I can't travel abroad. If you don't get visa, you can't travel abroad. If we don't get visa, we can't travel abroad. If they don't get visa, they can't travel abroad. If boys don't get visa, boys can't travel abroad. If he doesn't get visa, he can't travel abroad. If she doesn't get visa, she can't travel abroad. If Rani doesn't get visa, Rani can't travel abroad. In compound, I must get visa or else I can't travel abroad. You must get visa or else you can't travel abroad. We must get visa or else we can't travel abroad. They must get visa or else they can't travel abroad. Boys must get visa or else boys can't travel abroad. Girls must get visa or else girls can't travel abroad. He must get visa or else he can't travel abroad. She must get visa or else she can't travel abroad. Ravi must get visa or else Ravi can't travel abroad. Rani must get visa or else Rani can't travel abroad. Fourth is, I saw a tiger that it was wounded. Simple. I saw a wounded tiger. You saw a wounded tiger. We saw a wounded tiger. They saw a wounded tiger. Boys saw a wounded tiger. Girls saw a wounded tiger. He saw a wounded tiger. In complex, I saw a tiger which was wounded. You saw a tiger which was wounded. They saw a tiger which was wounded. Boys saw a tiger which was wounded. Same in compound. I saw a tiger and it was wounded. You saw a tiger and it was wounded. We saw a tiger and it was wounded. Last one. There was a Bandh, the shops remained closed. Simple. The shops were closed due to Bandh. The shops were closed due to Bandh. The malls are closed due to Bandh. The department stores were closed due to Bandh. In complex. As there was a Bandh, the shops were closed. As there was a Bandh, the department stores were closed. As there was a Bandh, the malls were closed. Compound. There was a Bandh and so the shops were closed. There was a Bandh and so the malls were closed. There was a Bandh and so the department stores were closed. And with that, we close this session. I hope you can enjoy the various examples so that you are able to speak, you are able to write. Thank you so much. Listen English, automatically you will speak English. Read English, automatically you will write English. Thank you very much. Have a good day.